Welcome to another episode of our social media addiction series. Just to encourage you, if it's your first time watching this video, please go watch the previous episodes of our social media addiction so that you catch up with us, so that when we move, we are at par. And this is a very, very interesting topic. It's a very interesting series. You can't afford to miss any episode whatsoever. So make sure you are tuned. Make sure you are up to date for every episode that will be updated concerning this topic. Because even if it will not be of help to you, I believe there is a friend of yours, there is a sister, a brother of yours, or a colleague, or a churchmate, who is a victim of this very topic that we are tackling in this episode. So stay tuned for more and go watch our previous episodes before you come and watch this one, so that you get to understand the foundations, the signs, symptoms of addiction, the triggers of addiction, and all those things all put together. Let's get into today's topic. We are going to talk about social media addiction and how it leads to depression. Okay? Social media addiction and how it leads to depression. And I know some people may be sitting somewhere, they're like, social media addiction and depression, haiwezi make. There are more serious issues that can make someone get into depression other than addiction. But let me surprise you. You may be wrong. There are people who are into depression. There are people who are suffering from anxiety. There are people who are very lonely. There are people who are really struggling in their lives just because they are suffering from this particular addiction, social media. And this may be a surprise to many people because maybe we are used to other forms of addiction, like substance addiction, gambling, maybe pornography and all that kind of stuff. But social media is also something that has really erupted in this era, and it's something that we really need to talk about. Now, how does it lead into depression? I'll give us 2 points in this episode, and then we continue getting and digging deeper as we go on. And our first point is constant comparison. Okay? Constant comparison. This sounds like a trap, because someone might say, okay, well, even without social media, there are people who just compare themselves to other people in real life. Maybe their neighbors, children, or their friends at school and that kind of thing. But there are people who are addicted to social media. And the one factor that is really affecting them so much is because they constantly compare themselves with the people they see on social media. I'll help us understand how this comes into play. So now, most people, we all know, and even statistics have already shown it, that most people portray the best part of their lives on social media. The best moments they have with family, they take a photo, they post on social media. The best moments they have in their marriages, they record, they post the video or the clip on social media. The best achievements, the success that they're making in life, they capture all those moments and then they post them on social media. So this person could be your cousin from a distance. These people could be maybe your schoolmates, your high school mates, or your college mates, or maybe people from the same village, So you keep seeing their achievements on social media. You keep seeing the best side of life on social media about them. And this kind of makes you, with time, it makes you feel hopeless in some way. I'm saying that because at some point I was a victim of the same. It creeps in very slowly. It makes you feel hopeless. You're like, oh, so and so, we were in the same class, we graduated the same year. Now they're driving. I'm not even, near or a quarter of their achievements. You see, that is a sign of hopelessness. That is a kind of a seed, or maybe I would say a drop of hopelessness creeping in your life slowly without even knowing. So you continue feeding yourself with their content, you continue consuming their successes, their achievements, time and over time. And within no time, what you continue feeding your system or consuming, that is what you will always portray at the end of it. So now you feel timid in some way. You start feeling maybe kind of having a low self-esteem, like maybe you have not achieved like many other of your classmates. You have not reached their level, not knowing they are only showing you the best side of their lives. They are not showing you the real struggles that they are having in their lives. They're not showing you the real challenges that they're encountering. They're not even telling you if that car is theirs or not, okay? And even if they tell you it's theirs, you don't have proof that it's really theirs, because there are people who are just out there on social media to put a facade of how nice their life is. But in real sense, qua ground, hey, my friend, things are very different. So this kind of constant comparison keeps affecting you. And without knowing, you start losing hope. You are maybe on the right track, you're on the right path, but because of what you consume online, you start now losing hope. You start having low self-esteem. You start feeling like you're not worthy. You start feeling like a failure, a loser, but in real sense, you are not. And if you are not very, very careful, then you'll continue with that trend. And then within no time, you'll start getting yourself into depression, stressing yourself out for no good reason. And that is how so many young people are getting into depression, because of social media addiction. So let us be careful and really watch out on that. And just know, your life, you are enough the way you are, and you are doing the right things to make sure that you achieve your dreams. Stop comparing yourself. Stop competing with people on social media. Utajipea stress bure, utajisumbua akili bure, and it will not do you any good. Now, another point that it tells us how social media addiction can lead to depression is reduced real life connection. And I think I've mentioned this from afar when we were tackling the triggers of the addiction, and when we were tackling the signs and symptoms of addiction, that when you are so much glued on your gadget, when you're so much glued on your phone and your computer, you tend to have limited bonds, or you tend to have limited interaction with physical people or with real environment. You kind of disconnect from your real environment, and this can affect you big time, because you are not having time with friends, you're not having time with family, you're not having meaningful activities in your life, you're not even going out for hikes or even interacting with people. Most of your time you are on the screen, which is not healthy. This can lead to loneliness. Okay, and this can lead to boredom in some way, boredom, which leads to loneliness, which means you can't get the same depth of bond, you can't get the same depth of interaction online. Okay, You can't compare the interaction online and that one of real time. They are not the same. Actually, when you look at the depth, is not the same at all. So you become lonely at the end of it all, because as a human being, you have challenges. At some point, you'll encounter some things which maybe you can just talk to someone in a conversation and they're like, I have a formula for that. You know, we can get a solution real quick. But because you are disconnected, you find that you lose that, you get into loneliness, and before you know it, depression starts setting in slowly by slowly. Let us be careful and let us watch out of those two things that can make us get into depression as a result of social media addiction. If this video has been of value to you, feel free to share with your friends, with your loved ones, and anybody that you feel can help and can add value into their lives. Stay tuned for more. Till next time.